What's the good word, y'all? So CJ Mosley could end up being a potential cut candidate for our New York Jets team. I think this would undoubtedly be one of the biggest surprises if it happens. And this is all centered around his contract. So for a while now, since joining the team, we've been teased with some elite performances from him. And since actually getting him back and healthy, starting with the 2021 season, he's been a significant part of our defense. I mean, as soon as recent, anyways, as the 2022 season, he was a huge part of a team that ranked fourth in points allowed, fourth in yards allowed, and he racked up over 150 tackles, which is something like 50 tackles more than the next highest person on the team. So statistically, he's kind of an anomaly on our team. But while not the same caliber of player we've seen with the Ravens, given some of the soft tissue injuries he's had, groin, I think there were some thigh injuries in there, different things of that nature. He is still an above average piece and a core piece of this defensive team, by the way, as the signal callers. So why would we potentially be releasing him? Well, as part of his contract and a crazy one that was signed at the time to reset the market for middle linebackers, it's going to be hard to live up to that unless he was a perennial all pro and essentially cemented his Hall of Fame career, which he's probably bound to be there as a first ballot candidate anyways. But he signed that 5 year $85 million contract back in 2019 when he joined this team, and then it's taken a while for us to kind of see the fruits of that labor. So we know during some of the player interviews and stuff that were going on, Mosley himself wasn't approached by the team about getting a contract restructure, which is necessary for us, right? We need to figure out how we're going to fit Aaron Rodgers and Quentin Williams contract under the allowed cap space, right? 2023, there's a few pieces it seems like we still want to add to this team, but when you take a look at 2024, 2025 and beyond, you're still going to be saddled with that Aaron Rodgers contract. Quentin Williams is still going to be a significant cap number for there, and then you still need to start thinking about saving money up for guys like Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner. You can probably say that a guy like Michael Carter, if he ends up finding a way to bounce back, tight end wise, we did the restructures with CJ, we did the restructure with Tyler. So there's a lot of money that's being moved to account for this 2 year window, ideally with Aaron Rodgers for us. So if we can rework the contract, great. But we can also release him, and while we're still going to get hit with some pretty tough cap ramifications, you are going to save some immediate money. $17 million, whether we release or trade him, and trade doesn't seem to be in the cards because he has an astronomical cap charge. So, with that said, would we go down that road of, if we can't restructure a contract with him, threatening that we will release him? I don't think it would be a smart move whatsoever. We have $24 million in cap space right now. Having 41 million sounds great, but then keep in mind, we're really just trying to amass some money for maybe some emergency signings if injuries hit, and then for those two contracts in Aaron Rodgers and Quentin Williams. So it doesn't make sense to really blow up the middle of your defense just to be able to go out there and have a solid cushion, right? I think right now the New York Jets have the fourth most cap space prior to the moves that we talked about being done. And yeah, I mean, right now, Super Bowl window is strong for us. We have one of the higher ratings out there in the betting world to go out there and be able to make it to the Super Bowl and potentially win it all. And you don't want to undersell CJ Mosley and what he's contributed to this defense. He's said all of the right things. He's done all of the right things. He's got his health to a place to be able to physically go out there and do all the right things on the field. And so, yes, maybe he's a step behind. Yes, he can't necessarily cover the running backs and tight ends like he used to do, but you're still talking about a guy that's going out there. He's led the team in tackles the last few years. He's been able to stay on the field. He's a significant part of calling these defenses. We've seen him be able to go out there, grab an interception, force some fumbles, boost up his team's morale when absolutely necessary. I love some of the pregame speeches that we get some insight into when the New York Jets media team drops certain things. So I don't think this would be the smartest move by the team. Now, I'm not even sure what a restructure will look like because the last time that we approached them, and I think this was last year actually, we tacked on some void years to kind of spread out that cap charge and, of course, boost his signing bonus a little bit more. So we're already taking a look at cap hits of just shy of 6 million and then just shy of 3 million in 2025, 2026. Joe Douglas has done a very, very good job of trying to minimize future dead cap hit charges. This is something that you take the risk for, though, when you do feel like you have a roster that's set up to go out there and actually get you the ring, which is what everybody's playing this for. So ideally, I was a guy even last year that, if you're going to cut him, take the immediate 1 year hit and call it a day. But seems like CJ Mosley may end up finishing out his contract with us if we keep going at the pace we are, and I'm not even sad about it anymore. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Hopefully, as we've talked about a little bit before, I think a position change could actually do him a lot of good with how smart he is and how his instinctive, reactive ability out there on the field. We can make the most of the final bits of his career here that we're looking at, but with all of that said, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. CJ Mosley restructuring a contract, ideally for us to give us a better cap number. But if not, would we threaten and would it be smart to threaten potentially releasing him as a way to get him to take a pay cut? I'll catch you guys again. Peace.